On October 29, 1916, Staff Sergeant Clarence Simon Utne was born in Wabash, South Dakota. He was raised on a small country homestead with his parents, 5 brothers, and 6 sisters. All 5 of his brothers were drafted. Clarence graduated from Wabash High School and moved to Roseburg, Oregon to work. Here, 2 of his brothers, Al and Joe, owned a repair shop called Utne Brothers Rose Garage, where they would fix vehicles and then sell them. On March 10, 1942, at the age of 26, Clarence Utne was drafted into the U.S. Army. Staff Sergeant Clarence Utne was part of the 5th Air Force Bombardier and was trained at the Hawaiian Islands and in Shepherd Field, Texas. On September 14, 1942, he left for overseas, where he was stationed in New Guinea in the South Pacific Theater, where he served as a staff sergeant in the 320 Army Air Force Bomb Squadron. On January 8, 1943, Staff Sergeant Clarence Utne volunteered for a difficult and dangerous combat mission against the Japanese Navy escorted by aircraft. According to Clarence's great-nephew, Bill Utne, Staff Sergeant Utne volunteered because one of his friends in the division became sick, and he wanted to take place of a friend. During the attack, he shot down 4 out of the 6 enemy fighters. To quote Staff Sergeant Utne's commanding officer, R.L. Taylor, "After engaging the enemy continuously for almost an hour, he destroyed another enemy fighter. Then, when his airplane was leaving the scene, the Japanese attacked his plane, and a shot entered the fuselage of the airplane and killed Staff Sergeant Utne. He was killed instantly by the bullets and buried in Sydney, Australia. His brother, Corporal Joe Utne, had been writing letters to him, and when he found out his brother was killed was when the letter was returned and marked 'Killed in Action.' His remains were buried in the National Memorial Cemetery in Honolulu, Hawaii. He was laid to rest in Honolulu on July 19, 1949. Staff Sergeant Utne was awarded the Purple Heart. Later, on January 11, 1943, General Headquarters in the Southwest Pacific announced the posthumous award of the Distinguished Flying Cross Award to Staff Sergeant Utne. He was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross for his extraordinary achievement of shooting down 6 enemy fighter planes while participating in an aerial flight over the southwest end of Lee Airfield in Papua New Guinea. Because of men like Staff Sergeant Clarence Utne, many of us wouldn't have freedom like we do today. Staff Sergeant Utne's act of service, heroism, and bravery served as a role model for the U.S. Army. He set an example of how many other Americans can respond to their call of action. Staff Sergeant Clarence Utne didn't just change the war, but he changed his country as a whole.